Hi, I'm Erin Alberty, outdoors writer for the Salt Lake Tribune. Now, I am not a good skier. I always manage to make it down the mountain some way or another, but there's a big difference between how I ski and how the good people ski. But I'm hoping that that puts me at a good place on the learning curve to test out some of the methods and tools that are out there to help skiers reach the next level.
To show my starting point, I've come up to Solitude Mountain Resort to ski my first runs in about 3 years. I feel pretty good on the green runs. Blues are okay too, even though sometimes my skis get a little wobbly under my feet. And then we get to the bumpy black diamonds, where I retreat to my trusty snowplow and mostly try not to die.
Because stability and my position over the ski seem to be problems for me, the first thing I'm going to try is the Skia Ski Trainer. It's a device that is designed to promote better balance over the skis. You strap these to your boot. I've already got one of these on, so here you can see. And when we put them both on, they've got these little blocks that you need to make sure that you balance over them rather than rocking your foot back and forth. This is the biggest block, so you can move up to these are more difficult. Here's the last one. So eventually, we'll hopefully be able to stand my ski boots on something this narrow, and I'll be able to balance properly. Skia makes a video of little exercises that you can do while you're wearing the blocks to try to make it more challenging and to get you used to balancing in different ways. Now, the Skia instruction manual says to expect results in about 2 weeks, and that's about how long I've been practicing on the blocks. I pretty quickly graduated from the easiest block to the next block up, but I didn't get beyond that. So I definitely have room to improve, but I was kind of excited to see what kind of progress this would represent in my skiing. So we came up to Snow Basin today, and we're going to give it a shot.
I did feel a difference almost immediately. In the past, I've struggled to keep my weight on both of my feet. I smear really heavily on my outside foot when I turn, and I mostly just try to keep my inside foot out of the way. Sometimes I even pick it up off the snow while I'm turning. But after all that balance practice, I was comfortable trying to stand solidly on both of my feet, and I felt a lot more connected to the snow, especially on green and blue runs. But by the time I reached the black runs, I was pretty tired, and I didn't feel as confident. Once I got on that steep slope, things kind of went sideways.
Now, it was pretty clear after both Snow Basin and Solitude that one of my biggest deficits is fitness. I'm not going to turn into an athlete overnight, but right now I'm here at the Basin Rec Fieldhouse in Kimball Junction, and I'm going to be trying out this ski simulator. It's called the Skier's Edge. It's manufactured by a Utah company, and so what you do is you get on it and shift your weight from side to side. You also can use ski poles when you're a little more comfortable with your balance. Now, the footbeds in the Skier's Edge are movable. You can either have them positioned in a wider stance, which is more like carving, or, as is set on this machine here, you can have them closer together, which better replicates skiing in powder or moguls. And this one, especially when you put the poles on, it's a little uncomfortable for me, which, if you'll recall the footage of me in moguls, probably not that surprising.
All right, So after a couple weeks on the skier's edge, I definitely do feel more trust in my hip muscles to get me through turns, but I think where that practice will probably pay the most dividends is later in the day, where I otherwise might have been more tired than I am. So why don't we keep going and see what difference it makes.
On the groomers, the skier's edge made less of a difference for me than the Skia balance blocks did, though some extra leg strength is an asset no matter where or how you ski. My workouts on the machine made a much bigger difference in the bumpy snow. I'm still not bobbing through the moguls like an Olympian, but it's a notable improvement from this.
The one thing we haven't tried so far is a lesson. So today I'm here with Lisa Buxton, ski instructor at Brighton Resort, and we are going to try to do some fine-tuning and diagnostics, try to figure out what I can do to get down these hills better. It's a beautiful day, we got fresh snow, so let's get to it.
We're gonna roll them until we go sideways a little bit. There you go.
For my lesson, Lisa and I focused on gaining confidence on steep and bumpy terrain, starting with the basic anatomy of the hockey stop.
Down. Good, yeah. Nice, you see that power?
We headed over to some soft moguls and into the trees to practice stopping in awkward places, slowly and thoughtfully, like how a musician cranks down the metronome to woodshed through a difficult passage. For me, the lesson was not really about totally reforming my skiing, but more about identifying a path forward to keep practicing and improving, gradually connecting more and more tough turns without sacrificing control. Gradual improvement has kind of been the takeaway of my experiment. I had been waiting for a big breakthrough where everything comes together and suddenly feels perfect, like riding a bike. Now I think it's more like learning a musical instrument, where you keep trying harder and harder things, and eventually, with steady practice, old challenges start to seem easy.